Good morning. This is Nick with Walls by Design. Having some coffee this morning out on the back patio. Today, I want to talk a little bit about a large interior painting project. If this is in your future, we have several. We just finished up a big one down in Parker. I have another one we're getting scheduled to do. Very different projects. The one we just finished up was right before the family moved into the house. So they just purchased the house was empty. Process is typically going to be slightly different than you live in the house. We have one coming up in August, I believe, where homeowners have lived there for 15 years and they're like, all right, it's time to rip the Band-Aid off. They're getting new floors. I think they're doing countertops. And then we are going to come in and paint cabinets and paint the interior of the walls. So on that project, I can't spray anything in the house. So if you live in the house, that's something we're always going to do, brush and roll the whole entire project. Unless you've got, a specific, sometimes people have a study or a room that we have to do a lot of coats of something. We just finished a project in Littleton. It's kind of a multi-week project because it was a lot of work. We did cabinetry and a lot of trim, but they had a study that they wanted us to take stained bookshelves and paint everything. And so when we're doing that, it's the same process as cabinets: buff sand, prime 2 coats, paint 2 coats. And so it's a little bit more efficient for us and we get a little bit better finish. So if a room is able to be contained like that, where we just plastic off the door, then we can spray in that scenario. But typically we are not going to be spraying in your house. Lots of times, if the house is empty, then I don't have to deal with furniture. It's way more efficient. But let's talk about you live in the house. You don't have a way to get rid of all of your furniture. Now, the house in Littleton I just spoke about, one of the things we were able to do, because we were painting, I think we painted probably 80 to 90% of the main floor of the house. It's a ranch, so the other level was going down into the lower level. But we really wanted to get rid of some of the furniture and some of the things that were in the house. And so one thing that we are able to do, I don't know of another company that has this, but we have 20-foot trailers that are empty. We were able to bring a 20-foot trailer to the house, and they were able to empty not all of the contents of the house, but they got rid of enough so that it was easier for us to work around. One of the things we can't really do, and this happens, we get into a bedroom, especially those smaller bedrooms, the guest bedrooms or the kids' bedrooms, and people think, well, we moved things as far as we could away from the wall. Well, if you're only giving me 2 to 3 feet, that's not enough room. So what you have to do is you have to remove the contents of that room so that we can do our job. And so I know that that's not a fun process, but that's what literally needs to happen. So imagine you're going to do your hardwood floors and you have hardwood floors throughout your whole entire first floor. You wouldn't tell the hardwood floor guy, sorry, can you just work around the furniture? No, you wouldn't. You would say, what are our options to getting rid of the furniture, right? So we have 20-foot trailers that if you have a lot of furniture, you could utilize one of those. Now, sometimes people just move to the garage or they can move to the basement, but we do have the option of bringing you 20-foot. And we don't think we would charge like $100 for that, just for the movement of the trailer. So very cost effective. You can have it for as long as you need it. I think the one in Littleton was there for like 4 or 5 weeks. And I just tell them, hey, when you're done, when you've moved everything out, just give us a call. We'll go get it. That's a perk. It also comes in handy when we're doing garage makeovers. We did one recently and they actually had 2 different garages on their house, the 2-car and then the little, I don't know what they call it, a carriage garage or something. I don't know. It was in the front of the house. Anyway, so we were painting both of those areas and they didn't want their stuff to sit out. So we just brought them a 20-foot trailer. Super easy, right? So we have to move things so that we can do our job properly. We want to have the best quality when we're done, and we want to be efficient. And so moving things out of the way is really the best thing. And if you can't move furniture, now our guys are not movers. And so we do tell people they need to move furniture. We can assist, but I can't have our guys moving anything that's over 50 pounds. But what we can do is we could bring in a moving company for you or help you find one that's just going to come in, move furniture before we start, and then they would come back and move furniture back for you. And that's the best solution. I don't like moving things because it's a liability. One of the times we were working with a moving company and the moving company actually scratched the hardwood floors. Now there's insurance and it was their insurance and they took care of everything. But had it been my guys, then it would have been on me to fix that hardwood floor. So I would never use that company again. But there are some great moving companies out there. I really like Two Men in a Truck. They'll just come out and do, moves like that. So moving furniture is super, super important. The other issue that we come across, especially when people are doing kind of a major remodel or they're moving into the house, is I cannot work in a house when there are other contractors in there. It is very inefficient. And what ends up happening, and this happened down in Parker in our big project, is stuff got damaged after we had finished. We'd done walkthroughs, everything looked great. I come back, there's damage. We knew there probably was going to be stain on baseboards. That's another thing. If you're having hardwood floors done, just know that those guys are going to get stain or finish up on stuff. We want to be able to do our job in an efficient manner, be done, and then say we're done. Then you can have your other guys come in and do their work or whatever. And if they damage our stuff, just like if you hadn't had us paint, if they damage something, you're going to have them repair it or fix it or whatever. It's not on us to fix whatever they damage. Just saying. So these are all, people want to be out of town. And it's really hard for us to complete a job and move on to our next job if you're not there to look everything over, sign off that everything is done and done well. So that can pose another problem on larger projects. We do brush and roll. We use Benjamin Moore paint with lots of different quality levels in the paint, but we offer a lifetime warranty on most everything that we do on the interior. And we offer that same free touch-up service for all the interiors. So literally, if you had me repaint your interior, you could potentially never have to paint again. Now, you might get tired of the colors over time, and that's what we would hope, and then we would have to repaint. But hopefully, if we can stay on top of things and keep everything looking great, you would never have to repaint again. Great solution, right? Well, thanks for joining me this morning. I'm Nick with Walls by Design. Have a great day.